Hello and welcome. I'm here to help you find the best investment in Istanbul. Before looking at any offers, let's first take a look at the map of Istanbul and understand it in order to make better investment decisions. First, here's the Bosphorus. It divides the European and Asian sides of the city. The government is focusing on both sides of the city for new projects, but most of the government institutions, historical and touristic places are in the European side of the city. Here in Istanbul, we have three main highways. The first one is TEM, which extends from the European side and goes across the second bridge into the Asian side. The second is called E5, which cuts through the heart of the city in the European side and pours moving traffic into the Asian side and vice versa through the first bridge. This one is considered the lifeline of the city, since it has the rapid transit bus line, the Metro bus, which goes from the beginning of the European side at Beylikdüzü and goes all the way to the center of the Asian side at Söğütluçeşme, 24/7 without stopping. Here we have the old airport, Ataturk Airport, which is set to become the largest national park in Turkey, increasing the value of the whole area around it. Ataturk National Park sits between two main highways, Basin Express, which is a very important highway with many new excellent projects alongside it. It connects the E5 with the TEM. Right below Ataturk National Park is the third highway, Sahil Yolu, or the Coastal Road, which also crosses between the Asian side and European side, but from underneath the water through the famous Avrasya Tunnel. As you can see, these three highways are the most important lines in the city. Above them is the Belgrade Forest and the new airport, Istanbul Airport. When we talk about real estate, we have three main zones in Istanbul. The first one is Zone A, which covers Kayıthane, Levant, Şişli, Taksim, Bari Istanbul to the Fatih area on the European side, and on the Asian side covers Üsküdar, Kadıköy, and Beykoz. Then you have Zone B, which covers the area from Fatih, Eyüp, Zeytinburnu, and Bakırköy to this main road, which is called Basin Express, and connects TEM with E5, and Maltepe on the Asian side. Once you go across and to the west of Küçükçekmece Lake, you have Zone C, which covers Beylikdüzü, Esenyurt, and Bahçeşehir on the European side, and Kartal, Pendik, to Sabiha Gökçen International Airport on the Asian side. The closer we are to the Bosphorus, the higher the price, the better the quality, and the more prestigious the neighborhood. This is all important to know so you better understand the structure of Istanbul. For example, in Zone A, the square meter starts at $4,000. At Zone B, it starts at $3,000. And in Zone C, it would be around $2,000. If we want to take the citizenship package as an example, at $400,000 to $450,000, it would get you a 1+1 flat in Zone A, or in some cases a 2+1. In Zone B, we can get a 2+1 or two 1+1 flats. In Zone C, you can get two flats, a 1+1 and a 2+1, or a 3+1 or even a 4+1. But if we want to look at supply and demand, in Zone A, we have a limited number of projects as there's no more land available for new projects. In Zone A, land is expensive and projects are more expensive. That's why the demand there is higher than the supply. It's an exclusive zone, and of course it borders and overlooks the Bosphorus. In Zone B, most of the new projects are built on land that used to belong to factories. These factories were ordered to move to the edge of the city's borders after new government regulations. The supply in this zone is average, but the demand is high. In Zone C, land spaces are much more available, and therefore the supply is very high. That's why we try to focus on Zone A for anyone that wants to invest their money. If you want to buy a flat for $200,000, just for summer vacations or even to live, then we would say you can buy in Zone C, for example. But for investors, we prefer Zone A to make money. To summarize, there are three zones in Istanbul, A, B, and C. Zone A is the closest area to the Bosphorus from both sides, the European side and the Asian side. The price for 1 square meter? $4,000. This area includes 10% of the projects in Istanbul. Zone B, the area in the middle, on both the Asian side and the European side. The price for 1 square meter, $3,000. This area includes 30% of the projects in Istanbul. Zone C, the area to the east and west of Istanbul. The price for 1 square meter, $2,000. This area includes 50% of the projects in Istanbul. The closer we are to the Bosphorus in Zone A, the higher the quality for the projects, flat interior, and the people in the neighborhood. Which is why we always recommend it if you want flats just as an investment, not for living within the budget of a Turkish citizenship. As a final note, under construction projects in Zone A will be the best if there's a metro line active or under construction around it. Because there are no more projects and no more land to build new projects, so as supply and demand works in the area, you'll be able to sell easier and you'll make a higher capital appreciation and less competition when you think of selling your investment. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be happy to serve you with some of the best choices for investment in Istanbul.